Hello, my name is Kelsey Moser, and I'm here with H2K's VandeR after they just managed a 4-0 day and placed first in Group C. So, first of all, it sounded a bit like you guys maybe weren't expecting to go 4-0 today or to just have a perfect day. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think before week one we were pretty confident that we will beat like HQ and INTZ, and then EDG will be tougher for us. And then I think we were like, I don't know, we changed our mindset a lot coming to week two by seeing how G2 went and how our first week went. So we were not as confident, and we were really focused on just playing our game and eliminating all the mistakes we were doing before, because I think we are more like not careful enough in the games and a bit doing like I don't know how to call it, just crazy. I mean, like unusual. Like that's basically what Sven said in the interview once before the game. I heard they just do some unusual things, and then like no one ever does it in Scream, and then they suddenly do it on stage, and then turns out really badly. So it really it kind of happened to us as well, and we just focused on playing smart, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of one of those kind of unusual things, how important was it to you to sort of redeem yourself after the level one and the last time you faced EDG last week?
Yeah, so for example, something like this, I don't know what I did there. I didn't. I just walked in, so it's kind of thing I mentioned just a few seconds ago, right? And then the game was still winnable, but obviously it was much different environment in the game because we had like zero pressure and we had like Alistar, Jhin, which are really strong skirmishers. So yeah, the early game is totally on me, and I'm sorry for this.
I mean, it seemed like you were doing a really good job kind of catching up. I thought it was really interesting. You started, I believe today when you played your opening game, you started E level 1 on Alistar. Could you talk a little bit about that decision?
Well, they had Caitlyn Karma, and we had CV. No. We had Caitlyn Alisa, and they had Karma and something. I don't Sivir, I think. So basically, the the goal of this game was to just annoy top lane a bit, and then our lane can't really do much before level 3. So it doesn't really matter for me. I mean, it's just easier to play with heal level 1. I think you can still pull Q level 1, and then if enemy misplays a bit, you can punish it really hard. When, for example, I remember RNG against TSM, when Biofrost just walked to Mata and he started Q, and then he just lost like 70% HP because Sivir was level 2, I believe. So, and we also didn't do a camp. I think if you don't do a camp, this is like a better start kinda, because waves are even, and then you can just farm up safely. So this level 3 is kinda guaranteed that you are at least even. So I think it's just easier to play with level 1 heal. You can obviously start Q, but then it's if enemies are really good, they can pressure you and you will lose potions. Yeah.
And in these situations, you talked about how it's really important to just go even. But I mean, if Forgiven seems like a player, it's really important for him to win laning phase. How about you?
I kinda. I mean, I know that if I do poorly in lane, he'll be really mad at me. So I have to always consider this, and always have to. I have to help the team a bit more, right? I'm like support player. I carry wards and pink wards, so sometimes I have to go to enemy camp and ward it or pink for mid lane. But I also like have this in the back of my mind that I have Forgiven on bot lane. So if I make him unhappy by roaming too much, I have to be careful for that. And depends also on what I play. When I play Alistar, I obviously know that my pick scales really much better than Karma, so I don't have to do anything crazy early game. Obviously, if I'm ahead, then pretty much the game is over for them because they can't come back. But yeah, when you are Karma and Toonami, for example, like when we played EDG matchups, that's when you can tunnel a bit more on lane because we just play two range supports against each other, and whoever will pressure 2v2 will. It's more about pressure 2v2, right, than in melee range matchup, because then melee has still always better all-in, and melee can just farm a bit, like Alice.
Yeah, and speaking of the Nami, that was something that ended up being really huge today for EDG. You guys chose to ban the Tom Kench and the Alistar, like the more melee supports that roam a lot more, and then EDG just really tunneled. They really like that Nami pick. What do you guys think about that?
I think Nami is a really good pick, especially for early game in the lane. Like, normally it should pressure in most of the lanes, but we had also really strong picks in like Caitlyn Karma, so we could always measure aggression. Then whoever plays better in a lane will have an advantage. So I think we did a good job shutting this Nami pick down that she couldn't really go anywhere, and like she was just like standing at the tower and healing, at least in the fourth game. And what we could see, I think, in this tournament is that Meiko's champion was like Tam Kanjari Star and Nami. I don't think he played anything else, so we also kinda wanted to test what's he gonna pick, and I was ready for every situation.
All right. So I guess the Nami pick really just made it focused on laning phase, and that's the game you guys wanted to play?
Yeah, I think when Karma and Nami are in the game, then we just it's much more tunnel on 2v2, and then like melee like when you play melee supports, it's more about roaming and scaling a lot of times and just controlling them up, and whoever makes a mistake will get punished super hard, while range supports is more about those 2v2 control who can like move to the river first and who can like put some damage on the tower.
And so thanks for answering those slightly more in-game based questions. Going into this week, you guys were the only EU team who had won a game, so a lot of people kind of thought of you as EU's last hope. Was this a lot of additional pressure for you guys, or?
Well, we still have Splyce. Maybe they can go 4-0 as well, like we did today. I think personally it motivated me more than pressured, because I know that we have good players in Europe. Like in individual skills, I would say even better than most of the regions here. But I think what we lacked is a bit like pick and ban in week one. Like both H2K and G2, I think were thrown off a bit by like our enemies. And then I think like I don't know, like team issues, like communication, that people were like doing just weird things, and that were costing us the games. And like MU against HQ had a really close game. Then Splyce could beat TSM easily. G2 could like win Rocks and some other game for like I think CLG. So it's more like just the little mistakes made the tournament really hard for EU.
So I guess in that case, you seem to think that this was really good for you, but a lot of people have kind of characterized H2K as a momentum-based team. And so that first game win seemed to be really important to you guys. Do you think that that's something that you're going to have to worry about going forward, or?
I mean, obviously the game against HQ was the most important because they were the closest in the standings, and we thought EDG is like kinda better than them, and they are. So I also agree that we are kind of emotional team, and we start doing, it's even like in scrims or whatever, that we start doing good, then everyone will do even better, and when, let's say, someone will keep misplaying, then all of the teammates will start playing worse too, we're like affecting each other a lot, I think. So it was really important that everyone was on top of their game today, and we just like by doing good plays, everyone's like motivating each other. By doing bad plays, they're demotivating each other in our team. So today we did good emotional, psychological turnaround. Yeah.
So I guess as the last question, ideal scenario, you guys just keep doing well, you get your good drafts. Is there any team you guys think will be really hard to beat anyway?
Well, for now, I think the only like team that looked much better than others was SKT and RNG. We screamed RNG, and it's just painful to play against Mata and Uzi. It's like painful in a way that it's just the hardest bot lane, I think, in the best bot lane in Worlds. The hardest for us to, I mean, it was really hard to play against them. They are really mechanically skilled, and they are pressuring advantage really hard. So if we like misplayed a bit 2v2 or whatever, then they could punish us a lot. But we had decent record as well against them. So I'm not worried really hard, but I just respect their players a lot and SKT.
And just as a quick follow-up, I know Forgiven has also talked about UZI and Mata, and he said that playing with UZI is like playing the same player. Do you have any particular feelings about Mata at all?
Well, let me think. He's really, I don't know, cocky player. He always tries to win and like punish you, and sometimes you see that you think that it's bad situation for them, so in your head like, okay, he will not go for this, and then you already think about something else, and then okay, he goes on you, and then you die. So it's kind of something like this. He's just a bit crazy. So if you know that he plays like this and you're ready for it, I think he's not like much better than others. It's just he's really aggressive and cocky. So I think W said in the interview too that like he got caught off guard by it. So everyone who plays against him has to care about it.
Thank you very much. And you can find our other content on theScore eSports.